y'all, I'm back. I just want to do a little question answer. I need to do a separate video on youngsters taking any sort of supplements for breast enhancement. But for this one, this is just a little question answer. I had a girl, let's just call her Jules. For anyone who sends me messages, questions, if you guys don't want me to share this with anyone else, you're just gonna have to let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to be doing a lot of Q&A. That way it'll help everyone else who's trying to, find the same answer, or whoever's got the same questions as someone like yourself. So anyways, we're gonna call her Jules, and she writes, I was just wondering, will this tonic work for ages 17 to 18? So you have to think about your age. You got to think about everyone is different, right? So even though you're technically like really young, you're practically like maybe, I think for the most part you're still in puberty. Finishing up anyways. We generally keep going through puberty until our I want to say like mid-20s. I think if there is something that did not quite rectify itself or develop completely all the way, kind of like growth plates and bones, I feel like if you are malnourished and that happens, no matter what your age is, if you introduce the right substances, chemicals, meaning like from plants, from foods that we eat, then you're allowing your body to correct the problem. And thus you notice, oh, I'm growing and I'm like 30, what the heck? I'm 25, I thought I was done with puberty. Not quite. It's what you needed to have in your body in order for you to complete that cycle of growth, development. And I feel like it's the same thing with the doing breast enhancement. So being young, you're gonna have to ask yourself, okay, have I been to the endocrinologist? Do I have money to go to the endocrinologist? Because this is something I'm putting into my body. I'm young, I've got higher levels of human growth hormone. I could have some underlying health issues, right? So you got to ask yourself these things, and you have to be prepared to say, you know what, I do have money. I talked to my mom, I talked to my dad. Or if you're emancipated, okay, this is not going to be an easy fix, or this is not going to be something I just jump into and do a needle in a haystack approach. So keeping at least that in mind, you're going to have to go in telling yourself money is going to be needed, and how serious and how focused and how much of a mind you have to understand, what you're getting into. So, yes, it can work for young girls. Even, any youngster between 14 to, 18. I wouldn't recommend it only because you have so much groundwork to do before jumping into this. But what I wrote was, it can, if you have no periods or late to inconsistent cycles, this can definitely work for you to balance out your hormones, and the side effect is more curves and breast growth. If you are going to do any natural breast enhancement protocol, you should be with lab tests to show what you are lacking, if you are lacking anything in your hormones. Any imbalances that would be, determined by your doctor. Get an endocrinologist that understands. At the same time, you're not just looking at your ovaries, because when you're taking a glandular tonic, it's affecting mainly that gland that's in your body. So if it's an ovarian glandular substance, you have to think in your mind, okay, what is in this stuff? What is in the stuff that my body's glands are going to be absorbing? It's lots of iodine. Believe it or not, both male and female gonads have lots of iodine, rich in iodine. That, fishy smell that's in the sea, it's due to these minerals, sea minerals. Iodine is a big one. So you're going to get iodine from the animal. You're going to get micro amounts of testosterone. Depending on which animal it came from, I mean, this is like hamburger meat. It's been all grounded up in a big old vat. So you have to think, okay, millions of cow ovaries ground up together, grass-fed hopefully, right? We're trying to source a pure source of kosher or halal like organ. So you got to think of, okay, testosterone, progesterone, and estrogen. These are naturally occurring inside the gland, so the ovary. So if you think about it, you're gonna be putting this in your body, but it's also going to have this sort of feedback mechanism. It's going to tell other parts of your glandular system of what's needed or what's being overproduced, right? So this is not just affecting your ovaries. This is affecting like your whole glandular system. But if you have a problem with another part of your glandular system, say your adrenals or your thyroid, your pituitary is not producing enough hormone, then you're going to have to go and correct that with taking hormones for that, or maybe a glandular substance for that. So these work as a synergy. You need all of these things. If should something be not quite right with other glands in your body and even organs, you're messed up with your liver, you've got these enzymes, you probably want to correct that first. If you were born with something, in your kidney that is not allowing it to filter out correctly, then you're going to have to add something for the kidneys along with your program. And even like before, you got to prep your body. So there's a lot that goes into this. If you're able to talk to your mom or your dad, if you're, if they're open-minded and they're willing to take you to the endocrinologist, that's something that I would recommend, because you should be getting a period. You need to be getting a period every single month. I had a childhood friend who has always been having her issues with having her cycle. She had hirsutism. I still can't say that damn word. Hirsutism. She's had that, I think, since birth, So she's had to deal with missing periods for years at a time. And I actually got her started on this protocol. So she studies Chinese medicine. So she believes in it. She saw the results with me and she was just shocked. And she was what she want to say she started at 35, 36. So again, you have another female who's got really jacked up hormonal system, and she was able to balance it using this tincture that I made her. This is God-given stuff. I mean, all this stuff is here for us. So she was able to do that, and her side effect, of course, was being more curvy, of course, having breast tissue and, having some more curves. But she started her period, and it took her, I want to say it took her like a good 6 months to have that consistency. And she's so fertile now, she's pregnant. It's amazing. I never thought that she would actually be pregnant. So she was trying to hold that off. She said she wanted to plan for the following year, but she wanted to finish up her program. But the thing is now she got pregnant. She can't finish her program. I want to say she's been on it for about 8 months, 9 months. And I think she's grown like a cup already. She's another slower grower, but, we're older. We've got problems. She's done a lot of herbal protocols to correct other things in her body. And maybe she's 60, 70% there. I don't know. But anyways, she had to try this. She really needed to get her period. So, and she wanted the side effect as well. So, yes, it can work for you. You have higher levels of HGH most likely, unless your labs say that you don't, that you're not producing enough human growth hormone. So, I would say it's best to wait till you're 21, or okay, the reason why I say it's best to wait till you're 21, because you want to give yourself that time to research every single thing that you can out there. You want to be able to save up the money, get your labs done, have endocrinologists take a look at it. In the meantime, you're researching, you're learning a lot about your body, you're studying about all this stuff, and you're really making a good decision on where you're going to be going with all of this. So you may not, you may decide like maybe this is not what you want to do. Maybe you want to just do strictly herbals. I don't know. But all I can say is you have to also ask yourself if you're on birth control. Birth control is like the worst thing, and I know a lot of females use birth control along with their program, but I'd say if you're young, you're 17, 18, and you're on birth control maybe to like sort out your period issue and it's not really working, you're going to want to get off of the birth control and give your body a rest, because you don't want to try this program, have all your labs done, find out what's wrong with you, and then still be on birth control. So I don't know if you're on birth control, but I would say you really, really want to get off of the birth control if you're considering doing any NBE protocol. Also, if you are prone to any sort of breast cancer or have it running in your family, I would advise you, well, you should definitely not be on birth control if you are on birth control, and you should probably not focus on any bovine ovarian supplements, because it's this very strong hormone. It's a real hormone. It's like there's vegan protein and then there's animal protein. Animal protein is going to be much better assimilated for most people than vegan. A lot of people want to argue that vegan is just as good and even a better option, but honestly, I'm here to tell you, for people like me who have poor absorption, the best is getting it from an actual animal. All the amino acids, the good fats, you know, that good, those good omegas, and protein. It comes from the animal. I did best with it. And even my, one of my clients had noticed the same thing. She did better with animal protein. She's really stubborn. She wanted to do vegan, but it just wasn't working out. So, yes, that is what I'm saying. It can work for you girls who are struggling with jacked up cycles, missing periods, but there's a lot that goes into it, just like an adult. And you will have results, and they will be quicker, and they will be better. But there's nothing wrong with waiting until you're 21 as well, because you're still going to have pretty good HGH levels. And that's pretty much it. Test your, if you're going to go for it, you know, if you are emancipated and you make your own money, you want to do it, test your HGH levels, your prolactin, test all your estrogens, E1, E2, E3, your progesterone, your DHT levels. You want to test everything. And that will give you an idea if you've got a good endocrinologist to explain all your results to you. And it wouldn't hurt to test your thyroid hormone. It wouldn't hurt to test your adrenal hormones as well. That way, if you need anything from the lab compounded to rectify the other hormone issues you might have, you can do it. So, okay, so that's all for question answer today. I'll see you guys later.